All right, what's up, everybody? This is JT here. Listen, every once in a while, we like to pull one of these episodes out of the archives to play again, and that's what we're going to do this time. So, if you're new to Consequence of Habit, this is a great episode to start with. There's a reason that we pulled this out of the archive, and if you've been here a while, well, listen again. Listen with some fresh ears. Maybe you'll pick up on something that you didn't hear on the first go around. Um, all right, let's run it back. All right, everybody. This is a first. I'm sitting down here with Mr. Taylor Spike. Taylor, this is your third time on here. You are the first. Not that there's this going to be something groundbreaking, but you're the first person to come on the podcast three times. So I'm excited to have another conversation with you,
Yeah,
brother.
absolutely. Me too.
All right. So one of the reasons you and I are sitting down and talking. One of the reasons we've been talking for a couple months is you've got a race coming up here. You've got canyons. How far is that one?
It's a 100 miler. They have I'm doing the
All right.
100. They have 100K, and then I think a 50K too. Maybe a 50 mile. No, I don't think it's 50 mile, but yeah, I'm doing the 100 miler. Yep.
Nice. And so we were talking about it, and dude, you've agreed, which we are extremely grateful for, to rock a COH shirt during Canyons, and I'm extremely excited about that,
Yeah.
man. So we got to sit down here and talk about this. Um, what's preparation look like leading up to this? What are expectations? I mean, how you feeling lead up to this?
Good. Really good. I've, it's over the years. It's like I've had different theories or recipes, I guess, that I've done my training because, whatever fits into life or, um, you know, where we live, that's changed and all these dynamics, right? So, but in the big scheme of things, I feel really good. Everything's coming together really well. I've got lots of miles on my legs. I'm resting good. I still got a few weeks till race day, so I just need to maintain now. It's like now I feel like I'm at that point that I was comparing it to a bodybuilder. Like they probably get to a point that they're so chiseled and so perfect that do you really do anything? I mean, you just kind of maintain, right? And
Oh,
that's where I feel like I am, and that's exciting. So it's either I'm going to come into it really fit or hurt. so,
yeah. That's right.
but
Yeah, that's gonna be a weird balance just for the amount of miles, that you put in, and then, to try and peak. So there's gotta be some hard training, but at the same time, not doing so much where you just break your body.
It's last week I was in California. Is that where it was? Yeah, I was in Southern California and San Clemente. So I was on the beach, and it's nice, but I'm running twice a day. And there's times I
Wow.
think I can go back just 6 months ago and thought there's no way I could have done it. No way could I have wrapped my mind around it. Now I'm doing 5 or 6 in the morning, doing the same thing in the evening. And it's just kind of it feels good. It feels okay. It doesn't feel difficult. But yeah, it's a lot
I
of a lot of work to get to that point. A lot of patience.
I'm sure. Uh, when you and I were kinda throwing some notes back and forth on, like, what we're gonna talk about today, and in full transparency, you and I we'll go for, like, 2 months without talking to each other, and then we'll just hit each other up with a bunch of texts, checking in, and, um but when we are going over these notes, one of the things that you had written in there was, we can discuss why it's taken 10 years for me to accept that I'm an okay runner. And I even said this before we hit record. Like, even in you writing that, you're minimizing a little bit or a lot of bit of where you've come or how far you've come in the running world. I was I was on a call with one of our ambassadors, Nick, that you probably know, and he was saying, like, he did a race that you guys did a couple weeks ago, one of your hometown ones
Oh yeah,
there.
shotgun trail
And,
blast. Yeah.
yeah, and he was talking about, I was like, well, I was running really good. He's like, Taylor passed me, and his brother passed me, but like whatever, like that's expected. Like you are clearly running at a extremely high level, and anyone I've talked to within the ultra community, when I mention your name, they immediately know who you are. Um, why do you think it's taken so long for you to kind of wrap your head around that?
Um. Well, I don't think that I've. Okay, so there's guys that are fast and they're legitimately
Right.
fast and they're professionals and they carry themselves as such and um I've just been out grinding. It's like back in the
Right.
day,
Right.
I go to race with 300 people. I didn't know anybody. But that community,
Yeah.
that's the same community everywhere you go. It's a
Yeah,
small circle. So it's like you're doing the 200s and then you just keep hanging out. And over 10 years, it's like now, it's like that's the community. That's what I'm part of it. And I do, there's times I can stack up pretty well depending on the race, but there's guys that are really fast that I've always looked up to. Maybe they're even younger than me, but they've been doing it a long time and they're fast and I just
yeah,
don't ever see myself competing with those guys. And I don't want to take anything away from what they do because they're doing
right,
it
right, right.
for kind of a different reason than I am. It's recreational for me.
Yeah,
And this is awesome. It's fun. I really enjoy it. I looked to ultra sign up after I did the podcast with Cam. I had like 85 or 86 runs on there. I start thinking and I'm looking at doing it. I'm like, man, I've done a lot of runs and I'm really happy that I've been able to maintain over all those years the same consistency. But I'm not a super fast guy. But when nobody shows up or it's a small race like shotgun trail blast, that type of stuff, I can hold my
yeah,
own. So um yeah.
yeah. Well, so that was one of that lead kind of leads us into one of the other things that we were thinking about talking about, which is there's a lot of, especially because of social media and maybe what we do away from work, we have these two different identities, right? We've got for me, I've got my job as a first responder, as my normal day job, and people look at me in a certain way, and then away from that, there's this whole COH thing, and they're like two different fucking worlds that I live in, and I bounce back and forth, and that can feel kind of strange, man. So I would imagine you've got your professional world, which you and I just through conversation, you said it has its ups and downs, and it can be precarious at times. But then you've got Taylor Spike, the ultra runner, the guy on social media who I'm not blowing smoke, Taylor. You come up with some just amazing, like insightful things that to go along with your pictures and like some deep thought that goes into the stuff you write. What is that like to have this public facing image of Taylor, the guy on Instagram and the runner and that, and then just then the 9 to 5 grind, the thing that pays the bills.
Um well, actually, this is funny because I think social media is great and it's super easy. And it's just who I am, right? It's like I can
Right.
I don't give a shit what people think. It's like I put stuff on there, I'll read it,
Yeah.
and I'll be like, I have so much stuff I've deleted, but usually I'll have some coffee in the morning. I'll be like, you know what? I get a vibe, and I wanna have a good day. I want every day to be as good as it is, and they're not. There's days that they suck and it's hard. Um, but that is like kind of a forward facing. When I'm at the store, people know me from social media, and I don't want to be a weird guy, right? I want to be approachable.
Yeah.
I want people to say hi. I want to say hi to people. But at work, I'm pretty. I mean, I try to. I'm in a box. I mean, I should say I'm in a box. Don't get me wrong. I'm very lucky for what I get to do and for the company I do
Yeah.
it for, but it's very downplayed. I mean, they're not running, they're not doing the stuff I'm doing, right? And it's hard to
Right.
put those things together. There's moments I can have conversations with people about life, and I think I'm really good at that. And I can correlate when they're having hard times, but work stuff's mechanic work. We're teching, we're turning wrenches, they're welding, we're scheduling technicians, we're dealing with upset customers. It's regular work. So yeah.
You sent a video to me this morning, and I'd seen something about this already, and I'm sure anyone who's following you or following Cam that already knows about this. But give a quick, like, just a quick brief of why your family is kind of in a spotlight right now. Um, specifically around your dad.
Yeah, oh gosh, it was weeks ago, maybe a month ago now. He was on a run. He's getting ready for his 100 miler. He wants to do his big 100 while he's 75 and thinks this is his last shot to finish one. And so he was out on his prescribed run. Uh, and he was like 6 miles from the house, and he's running along the Valley River Inn, which is like almost like downtown Eugene. It's a pretty popular area. A lot of people visit there when they come into Eugene, and he saw smoke and people were like, hey, don't go down there. There's a fire. And he's like, well, he said he just thought to himself, he's got to get past there to get to the point to turn around to head back to the house on his run. He didn't really care that there was a fire. And so but when he ran by, that's when he was videoing it, and he never videos. never takes pictures. I shouldn't say never, but very rarely does he ever have his phone out. But for whatever reason, he was videoing, he's running along, and he ends up saving this lady. She jumps from the second floor, and he catches her, and you can hear all the audio while it's going on, and it's awesome. It's a great video because I feel like it's everything today is so visual. We get this like you watch a movie and the detail of stuff is so good that you really don't have to use your imagination. But when my dad's saving this lady and he drops his phone, you can only hear it. So I think your imagination's going wild, thinking, "Gosh, what's going on?" And you hear him screaming and yelling, and it's great. And now he's been on Inside Edition. Last night he was on Inside Edition. We did an interview this morning with them with the grandkids. He's got a lot of public recognition for it. My social media is just I had one reel, and I think it's got like I think I thought it had it's got like 9,000 likes or something, but my friends is just yeah, it's constantly climbing. It's incredible.
Yeah, hey, have you ever like wondered what is it about my family that seems to bring in attention? Like, I mean, obviously, that your dad. I mean, there's a complete fluke thing. The guy's just running by, and you're absolutely right. The fact you can see it, and then the authenticity in that woman's voice when she's like, "You saved me." Like, I mean, she fucking meant it, man. Like, she really
Yeah,
meant it.
yeah.
Uh, but just have you ever thought like, man, my family finds themselves in these situations that really, for whatever reason, brings a spotlight on us.
Well, my dad, yeah, I don't know. I have no idea. My dad is there's been numerous times that things like that have happened. Cam, same thing. Cam tackled an attacker on a woman. He had tackled her off her bike in the middle of a walkway, and Cam jumped on top of this guy and was beat him up and waited for the police to come. I mean, it was just like I think I don't know. I just it's weird because I can't imagine. I don't think anybody in our family, and that was one of the things they brought up on Inside Edition that they were asking all the grandkids is like, "Are you surprised your grandpa did this?" And no, none of them were surprised. It's like
Uh-huh.
you should be.
No.
It's like everybody's like, "Oh no, that's what he does. He's nice and generous, and that's what that he was in the military. He was in Vietnam, and he was trained to do those things. He just did what you're supposed to do." So yeah,
Yeah.
I don't know. It's crazy.
The best part of that is like so he goes from I mean, you can't alter a person's life any more than that, right? You save this woman's life, and then he just continues his run because he had
Yeah.
to. They're like, well, why did you leave? He's like, well, I had to finish my run. It's like, man, that's about the most matter of fact thing I think I've ever
Yeah,
heard.
it's just yeah, it's funny, and he's always it's always, even growing up, they just look they I should say they look the other way, but if there was something that they couldn't do anything about, they weren't gonna waste their time doing it, and a lot of times that was me. So it's like
I
but
mean, right?
yeah, I my dad being pretty cool and kinda knowing, "Hey, somebody's gotta do this," that's my dad. It's like, I
Yeah.
he did nobody else is gonna do it, I'm doing it. That's yeah, whatever yeah, it's that's him.
Hey, I got a question for you. Some of the deep stuff that you've come up with in your thoughts. So you and I have discussed in past conversations that these long runs. This is a time to kind of work through the. I think you've even said it's kind of like your therapy before. You've obviously been through some extremely difficult things. Are you coming up with these things while you're running, or is this the things that just kind of pop in your brain, like you said, when you're having coffee or something?
Yeah, they pop in my brain. I just yeah, it's usually a lot of times what will happen is I'll start looking at pictures that Pamela has sent me or that I've taken
Yeah.
or that I'm tagged in. People will tag me in like a picture they've taken or something motivational, and then it just kind of gets my wheels turning. And it's yeah, yeah. Sometimes I spend too much time doing that, but
Yeah, yeah. I think we all are guilty of that. So recently you're on Cam's
yeah.
podcast. I'm sure it's got a massive following. What has that been like as far as you're pretty candid. You're candid on this podcast as well, but we don't have close to the reach. What was that like sitting down? Did you know you were going to go into those dark places? Like, what was that process like for you? It had to be a bit nerve
Oh, I was
wracking.
so nervous, and I told Cam that I said it's just Yeah, I mean, I look up to him, and that's his thing. I'm
Yeah.
stepping into his space. That's a big to do. That's he's worked really hard to get to where he is, and I don't want to ride the coattails of anybody, right? So it's like that's so to be able to get into that space and have this conversation with him, it was awesome. We both really really
Yeah.
enjoyed it. I think it was a lot of fun, and we've been wanting to do. We've talked about doing that for a long time, so it was good to do it.
That's cool. Yeah, I mean, people have reached out to me, man. They're like, "Oh, I was just listening to Taylor's episode. It was fantastic." I'm like, "Oh, thanks. I recorded that a long time ago." They're like, "No, no, no, on cams." I'm like, "Oh, son of a." No, I'm just kidding. They didn't say that. No, they just reached out and they did say like it was just a fantastic episode. And did you get a lot of people reaching out to you after that? For like either talking about their own trauma or things that they've gone through.
Yeah, yeah, and it's really funny is that very little of it has anything to do with running. And that's the
Yeah,
the thing that I like about social media, and I think people, if I don't know, maybe you just have to be careful how you use it or what your intentions with it are, right? But for me, it's like people just are looking for some hope. That's all that they ask you these questions, and some of them are just super. I got a buddy who's an alcoholic, and he's been really trying. It's like, yeah, okay, dude, I get it. It's you. It's okay. It's like,
right.
but
Yeah, right,
people
right, right,
ask,
right.
and it's really humbling. It's super humbling because um, there's no haters. I mean, nobody says anything bad. I mean, there's some people that ask kind of weird questions, but people are pretty awesome on there, and there's a lot of them. I'll get 15 to 20 probably a day of people just saying hi or I listen to your podcast and I try to reach out and I appreciate them taking the time. That's an hour and a half of their life that they took. And then to take the time to say something to me, I try to respond to them and be nice. Yeah, it's been positive. It's been really good.
That's cool. Is that balance that social media like just being a time hack in your life is that balance ever get off kilter because I'm asking for a friend
Yeah,
actually.
no, you're good.
Yeah,
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 moderate hour in the morning and hour in the evening. That's all I do.
that's
Yeah, so,
fantastic.
I'll
Yeah,
I'll do it, and I'll scroll through it in the morning, and then I can usually blow through everything I want to. There's a couple things I'd look for. Certain people's stuff that never shows up in my feed that I follow, that I like to look at their stuff. I'll do that
yeah,
stuff in the
yeah,
morning, get a
yeah.
feel for the day, and then I usually go for a run, and then after my run in the evening, I don't watch much TV or something on YouTube. I'll sit down and kinda scroll, but I had to do something. I can't do there. I see people doing that, like even in the airport. I'm like, man, my neck would hurt, my finger would be
Yeah,
sore. I just, I'm
yeah,
not,
right, right. Yeah,
I'm not
exactly.
wired that way. I think people would think that because I put quite a bit of stuff on social media at times, but usually it's like a day or two old. I usually don't do it
Oh,
same
okay.
day. But yeah, I kind of have my time that load stuff up.
Let's run through some of the scenarios. A good result at canyons potentially means what?
I win. Yeah, I don't know that
Yes.
that would happen. There's some pretty fast cats that are signed up, but um, I should be, in the top 10, at least, and then it's kind of a wild card from there. I think in any 100. I mean, if you're in the top end of that front pack or somewhere in there, the last few hours of the race or the last 20 miles or so can be the game changer. So it's hard to say if I can hold my own to that point, then I would love to at least win my age group, 45 to 50 to win that. That would be awesome.
Yeah. Yeah, so you win your age group, then does that qualify you?
Well,
Uh,
if I just finishing, I get 8 stones, so I can put in for the lottery. But I think if you win your age group, you get some kind of not like automatic entry, but you may bypass a lottery for the race. I thought I saw that, but they rerouted the race too, and it's not nearly as much climbing, and I don't know the details of that piece. But yeah,
gotcha.
I would getting my age group in that race would be significant. That would be really cool.
Nice. Yeah, well, I'll tell you what, man. You're kind of now we have our ambassadors and we've got just some amazing athletes on there, and they're running races, rocking some the COH swag. But you're kind of the OG, man. Like people listen. I literally got a message a week and a half ago hey, and the message was, hey, I just listened to that Taylor Spike. It was the first one we did. I'm like, bro, that was one of the rawest, like heaviest podcasts. Like that was people who listen to it, especially people who have dealt with trauma, get a lot from that one. And I don't go back very often to listen to some of the old ones. Usually just because I'm critiquing the crap out of myself on them. But every once in a while, I'll go back to listen to that one. And man, yeah, you bet. There's that one. That one is a special one, and so for the to I consider that one that really helped kick off what we're
Yeah.
doing here at Consequence of Habit, especially on the podcast. So man, it's a real honor to have you rocking the. Anytime I see you, you got the shirt on right now. Anytime I see you wearing the shirt, it just brings a smile to my face because you're definitely a dude who's not just represented by wearing a shirt, but living it
Yeah.
100%. So
I've had people, I was I don't was it you? Did I tell you the story about the lady when I was at Walmart getting my prescription?
yeah, yeah, yeah. Tell
Yeah,
it though.
and she'd asked about my shirt. She said, "Are you a consequence of habit?" I no, was it the last podcast? I think that's when it was that I said that. The last
It might have
Yeah.
been. It might have been.
I can't remember all of it, what she said.
Yeah, people ask it all the time. Like that was I think one of the by accident. The good things about the name is it like it invokes people's like thought process
Yeah,
around it, and they're like, "Well, what does that mean?" I'm like, "Well, that's up to you."
yeah.
Like that's a very personal thing. I said, "What one of the our habits are the most inclusive things out there. Like we've all got them, and they all dictate everything about our lives, right?" So you're very good at posting a picture of the past, and you can really see the transformation of your the you can see the consequences of your habits then compared to now, and just a completely different I don't know if life that you're living, but I think that's probably an accurate statement.
Oh,
No.
yeah, no, absolutely. Yeah, it's taken a little while to realize I guess not the importance of life, but just, how your actions affect everybody else around you. That's the piece
Yeah,
for me probably the most is just realizing my habits and how they affect others. It's one thing to have your own bad habits, but when they start messing up other people's lives and affecting them negatively, then that's that's a problem.
that's interesting. Somebody asked me. I was a guest on another podcast, and they asked. So I had my time after the military where I was just a freaking mess, right? But it was just me.
Yeah.
And then I had negative consequences later on in life before I got sober, and so I was talking about my time after the military, and they said, "Hey, was that your rock bottom?" I'm like, man, I don't know. Like, yeah, when I was doing that, I was just screwing me up, and of course, that's not, that's that didn't feel good, but it feels a hell of a lot worse when you realize you're screwing everybody else up around you. Like that probably hurts way more than
Yeah.
anything.
No, I
You know?
remember living in my car. There was a month there that I had to, make a tough decision, right? And that wasn't the bottom. No way. that,
No,
that was yeah, that wasn't it. But I tell you what, when things happen to your family and you don't and that hopelessness is different. That's very, very different.
oh
It's very different.
yeah,
Heartache's tough, man. Heartache's that's the hardest thing that I've ever dealt with in my life. And yeah, so heartache's a tough one.
are you gonna be? And we can cut this part if I'm getting too personal, but are you gonna be carrying any ashes with you on this 100
Yeah,
miler?
absolutely. Yep, yep. Yeah, yeah, for
Cool.
sure will. Yeah, that 50 miles, how you get at least get them to 50 and regroup and then to get them to the finish. So, yeah,
Nice.
that's always a thing on those, and we haven't done that in a long time. No, I shouldn't say a long time. Pamela's pretty good about it, but and we did it recently, but and it's been a while since I've done a big run that I didn't do them. I'm tough. Did I? I didn't do them. I'm tough. I don't remember doing them there, so I haven't done them for a long race for a while.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hey, I saw recently you got to hang out with Jared from Addict Athlete. Looks like you guys did some running together recently, or was that those old
Yeah,
photos?
there was we did, There was a race in St. George, Utah that I went down there, and then the addicts athlete, and then the recovery strong guys were they were all there. Both groups were there. Yeah, yeah.
Oh, really? Oh, okay. So when you did the podcast with the Recovery Strong guy?
No, with addicts athlete. Yeah.
Oh, no, no, no. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm confusing the 2. Jared, I apologize. Um, yeah, it's, what's the guy? No,
Blue.
is it
Yeah, it is
Blue?
blue. Yeah, yeah,
Blue.
yeah.
Uh,
Yeah, blue.
um, no, I'm thinking the Recovery's Jared from Recovery
Yeah.
Strong. Um, well, and is he still pretty active in the running stuff? Is he still getting after it?
No, no, I mean, not running wise. I always tell I tell all those guys, they don't you know, don't do what I do. Don't I'm
Yeah.
not a good comparison. It's like so yeah,
Right,
no,
right, right, right.
they all run and then they lift and they do a bunch of other stuff. They're just always doing something. They're always snow machining or going to Vegas or hiking with the kids, or they're just super, super active. But yeah, he doesn't run. I mean, yeah, I follow him on Strava and he puts miles in. He's and that whole
Yeah,
group
yeah,
does.
right.
Adam and his JJ, the brothers, they all do, and but they're just trying to stay on top of it. You know, they got kids and they want to be the best they can be. They're a good influence.
I need to reach back out to Jared. I haven't talked to that dude in
Yeah,
a while, and actually, um, there was a guy who had a prosthetic. I might have sent it to you, and he had on there. So as you know, Fuel Hunt has been a huge supporter of us, and they're the ones who kind of provided the shirts for us and all of our ambassadors. And this guy had a prosthetic and it had a Fuel Hunt and it had the Mount Ops. And I
yeah,
know Jared and those guys are pretty tied in with the Mount Ops, so I got to make a connection to those
yeah.
guys.
Oh yeah, there was. Yeah, because I think Trevor. Yeah, there was. I remember seeing that. We were there. We all together and we saw it. Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
okay,
Yeah, you
all
should.
right,
You should make that connection. They're good cats.
yeah, one hundred
Yep.
percent.
We were just talking about doing a race in August out there.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna reach out to him probably this week or next week. See, um, those guys are still up and running. Like everything's going pretty strong with them as far as the recovery
Yeah.
strong.
Yep, yeah. Yeah, they were
Nice.
that's what we were talking about doing is holding a like a half marathon, like do a trail event, not go run, but actual help and help set it up and kind of organize it and take some ownership of an event. Because I back in the day, my dad had a 50K that we did, and that was kind of a way to help. But we don't have any races. We don't participate. I mean, we do aid station stuff, but we don't own any. I shouldn't say own, but take any kind of some gratitude and ownership in organizing an event, right? We don't do that. So I think that's what they want to do.
Yeah, we should talk, man, because we've been thinking about doing some of the same things, and especially just because we have so many ultra runners in our ambassador
Yeah.
community, and we got some guys out near you too, man. So maybe I'll reach out to them and get with you, and maybe we between everybody we can get something put together, and put a little funding behind it, and I think that'd be a pretty cool
Yeah.
experience.
Yeah. It would be. Yeah. That's a good one.
All right, man. Well, just in case anybody who's listening to this doesn't know about you, where can people find you?
Instagram. I'm T.
What's your
Oh,
address? I'm joking,
yeah.
sorry.
My home address you want? Yeah. T Spike 2 on Instagram. And then I'm just Taylor Spike on Facebook. Those are the only two I got. One Strava. I'm on Strava, Taylor Spike on there as well.
All right, buddy. Thanks for checking this out. Hey, if you found value in this replay, share it with somebody you care about, somebody that maybe that needs it. If you're a subscriber, awesome. If not, please hit that subscriber button. We've got more conversations coming, and they're all about habits and identity and building a better life. As always, you can find us on Instagram and consequenceofhabit.org. That's it. Catch you guys next time.